Welcome everyone and welcome to All In, All United.
Remember the comment he made?
I got some bars to these.
Run Ryan.
Ryan.
And here's the thing, you have players out there.
I think the fellas will take it more serious.
No way.
What grade?
That one had to go. Yes, because at the end of the day, right now, Manchester United are
Good night. You all hearing me?
Yeah.
Nice, man. All right. So welcome to another episode of All In, All United. And we're here to review the performance today against Brentford. I think for me, it was numbing because I can't remember when last, I felt a win from United and how that felt. To start draws, losses. I forget how a win would have felt, and I was numb for the entire day. Regardless of the other results, I think I was numb to our result today. Because for some reason I'm feeling like it's a flash in the pan, but I'm hoping that you could kick on from here. Yeah. So how is the vibes, Phil? Tell me what's going on. I feel like it was in Japan, that time. If it's Japan, it was. But yeah, I mean, yeah, making a new bucket list or addition some bucket list. After
I try to
social media.
I trying to find new panelists for the All In All United. No, going worldwide, right? So
Yeah.
but yeah.
Did you find any? Did you find any though?
We'll discuss that off camera. Yeah, but yeah, good night, everyone. Yeah, good to be back. Yeah, similar to, I guess, prior to the game, you saw all these like memes with like, United fans celebrating that is a national break and we haven't been defeated for 2 weeks, right? And I mean, it is what it is. But today's game, I would say, it was a game of two halves. The first half was definitely atrocious.
You find atrocious? I find atrocious was a bit of a harsh word.
You think? I think the first half was all going towards Brentford. That was Brentford.
You find so?
Yeah, I found so.
All right.
Because Brentford, I think, had more possession of the ball. There were times where Brentford players looked so comfortable passing out the football in the first half. So comfortable, right? There were mistakes being made by some of our players today, and I'm not surprised. In my opinion, I think our best player today was Christian Eriksen. Some people will say Garnacho, but I think Christian Eriksen was our best player today. We have to have a discussion about the medical staff at Manchester United as well too. I won't talk about that right now. But all I'm saying is this guy De Ligt had to go off the field 3 times. Let's put it that way. But we'll discuss that later. Second half was all Manchester United. All Manchester United. We could have won that game at least a good 4-1 because Rashford fed a ball to Xerxes and Xerxes wasn't like anticipating it. Then the pass from Onana to Dalot. Part of me wanted Dalot to go down, and it would have been a red card and a penalty. But you know what? A win is a win. Some teams got 3 points this weekend. Some teams did not. So I mean, I'll end on that note. Let's put it that way.
Lion, we haven't seen any podcast for a bit unless the last one you were saying I wasn't here, but nice to have you on the inside. Lion, tell me that.
Yeah, well, as Phil said, it was a game of two halves. I mean, it wasn't a terrible first half, but the second half was like a completely different team, and I'm not getting fooled. I don't want to be fooled by this. So as United fans, we have to take it one half at a time, not one game at a time, because we have the tendency to either look good first half, look bad second half, look good one game. Again, I shouldn't say that because we haven't looked good in one game.
Yeah, few games.
Yeah, so I taking it as it come. Right?
I with you, Riley. I leave and I moving from the either.
Yeah.
I getting too optimistic, to be honest. Yeah, JP.
Yeah, organize everybody. Yeah, I think I just echo everybody's sentiment. Just first half was not atrocious, but it was what we have come accustomed to with this team. So open it was. They were
JP,
Brentford.
your audio not so 100 at all, boy. I don't know why.
Huh?
Yeah, I hear you clearly.
I think the mic probably needs to
Well,
be closer.
yeah. I'll just forget that. Yeah. So I was
Yeah.
saying the first half was a typical Manchester United performance where the midfield was kind of open. Brentford they were able to play through us a little too easily still. We had some opportunities. Garnacho in particular needs to learn when to shoot and when to pass. I think that is the next step in his game that he has to develop to take him to the next level. Because yes, he will come out at the end of the game with the most shots taken and probably most on target, but when you look at how many of those really would have threatened the keeper to say they may have scored, is not as much as his stats may show. So I think that's
Sorry to interrupt you, JP, but
yeah.
JP touched on a point where Garnacho needs to learn how to pass and when to shoot. What had me kind of pissed off as well is that the commentators was like, "Oh my god, just give the ball to Garnacho. Whenever our midfielders get the ball, just give the ball to Garnacho. He's gonna make things happen." And I'm like, did you guys even watch the first half? This guy was shooting. Why this guy was not even looking to see who was coming inside the box? And I'm like, are you kidding me? Our front three needs to be on the same communication channel, and they weren't today, right? But we can discuss that later. Sorry to interrupt you, JP.
That's true.
Yeah, so I mean, when we wasting no time tonight, right? Reem say he might fall in, but I guess if we get through, when I get through before he come in, well then, we get through, right? So I want to talk about my next one I want to talk about is the lineup, and I kind of starting it. I see Chef coming in there, right? So I'm bringing him in one time. Yeah. So, Chef, good night, man.
Good night, brothers.
Well,
my
you're not too late.
For my lateness.
You're not too late, but I guess you would fall in. We just more or less get the opening sentiments, right? I don't know if you have any opening sentiments, but I kind of when I get into
go ahead.
Lineup. Nice, right? So, decision for me in terms of the lineup, right? We know it's a Johnny Evans, which to me or they might vex it now, or they might not agree with me, but was my man of the match. At that age and the quality of performances, the composure he added to the back four, I think is nothing short of remarkable, right? And very impressive. But the decision to play Rashford on the right and Garnacho on the left, I think was a tactical. I don't want to give it too much of praise and say master stroke, but I think it worked. I think that change worked. I think the not having Meno and bringing in Casemiro, I think that was that could have been predicted as long as we know Ugarte is there. But I think Rashford on the right today was a breath of fresh air, and I think he really excelled in that position today. I think I saw a different level of intensity, a different level of tenacious, a different level of willingness, on the offensive and the defensive end from Rashford today on both ends. Even when he ended up on the left, when he was on the right, I was really impressed with Rashford today. I think the cross, epitomized his performance today. And I think Rashford and even Ten Hag, those are the lineup. I think they landed on something today. Chef, let me bring in one time. We just in the lineup, and the decision by Ten Hag to start Rashford on the right, not on the left, when we know that previously he used to have Garnacho on the right and Rashford on the left.
It was, well, I guess. All right, I don't want to talk in hindsight. So, it was a good. It was Ten Hag thinking a bit. Marcus game was on point today. I really don't have anything to say about Marcus game today. Marcus had a good game, passing. He was attacking. And I think that's the frustration though with the fan base, that this team just so inconsistent. It's borders on criminal at times. But anyhow, I'm sure we'll get to that. But I really didn't have a thing. I would say for the most part, I was very impressed with Dillit. Dillit had a good game, but as you said, Johnny, big up to Johnny Evans. Big up
silently. I think he went across. He went through his job very quietly.
Yeah,
his team didn't call much.
Yeah,
but if he was really looking at the game today, that's the quality.
Yeah. And
I don't be
and like
worried about
I messaged Kareem and I told him, Dan, is either Porsche or Ferrari or one of them make Ericsson pacemaker, because that's ridiculous, boy. Jesus Christ, that man run today.
But Ericsson was my man of the match today. That was me. I think
Ericsson
he was my man of the match.
run. Ericsson run. That Ericsson. For me, Ericsson was the leader on the pitch today.
Yeah, of course.
It wasn't even. We will get to, as I said, we'll get into all that about Bruno Fernandes' continued shit performance. But yeah, that was my, for the most part. I think the team basically picked himself. I really feel it for Ahmad. It's hard that the youth not getting picked, and I still stand that he should be a starter. But yeah,
JP as a avid Rashford supporter. I want to say fan. I want to say supporter. What do you think about the lineup, his performance today?
I was surprised to see Money right. I don't think anybody expected that.
Yeah.
But I think the reason that it was easier to do this time around is because, as you say, I'm a big Rashford supporter. So from what I have been looking at Rashford for the season so far, is a level of maturity in his game this season where he's not just trying to run past a player every time. He's using his head a little more. So I think putting him on the right, you saw that especially today when he was actually slotting in for Darlow, when Darlow was making the runs forward. So it showed a lot more intelligence and awareness and discipline from him today. I think he was a real leader in his performance. He didn't have to be a vocal leader, but in terms of how he performed, what he did on the pitch today in terms of his example, he was a step ahead the Brentford defenders, even on a lot of occasions where he intercepted the ball with passes that were coming to them. And I was thinking, look at Rashford. Rashford on top his game today. His passing was on point.
Yeah.
I think he was just a very impressive performance. And he wouldn't get the headlines like like Garnacho for taking on everybody every time he get the ball. But as I said before, there's a level of maturity and intelligence that he is showing in his game now. And it coming with time that is what you expect with your wingers as they get older. It's not just to run past players every time you get the ball. They have to be able to know when to pass, when to shoot, when to track back. And I think we saw that from him today. And if we can get more of that from him this season, even if he doesn't score 30 goals, then I think we have a much better version of Rashford than last season for sure.
Yeah, and I think what was impressive for me was, it had a bit of tenaciousness to win the second ball.
Yes.
Not just putting in the first challenge and giving up, but putting in the first challenge and willing to, or having that tenacity to win the ball and do something with it. And to be honest, I cannot remember seeing that ever. To be honest, from Rashford. Phil, what's your thoughts?
Yeah. We talking about the lineup, or we talking about like
Line up, and if you wanna factor in,
Yeah,
Rashford on the right hand side based on the lineup and its performance, you could do that.
part of me on Friday and Thursday kind of predicted Casemiro would start, but then obviously like Mazrari just getting heart surgery and Luke Shaw and Malacia out. I said, okay, maybe this is a time for Harry Amas to possibly get into the starting lineup. And lo and behold, they put Lissandro Martinez at left back. I'm kind of skeptical about Lissandro Martinez at left back because he isn't the fastest, right? I don't want to say Lissandro Martinez is kind of one-footed, but it's kind of predictable. Like whenever he receives the ball on a specific foot, he wants to pass with a specific foot as well too, right? I kind of predicted Johnny Evans would start because he got man of the match versus Aston Villa. Billet, solid game today, and that's what I want to see more of. He possibly, if he keeps on playing like this here, he could be a future Manchester United captain. I'll speak into existence. Manu is supposed to miss the next 7 games for Manchester United. So we're gonna expect a midfield.
7?
7, yeah.
What injury you have?
I thought I said
A muscle injury.
7 games?
I
But
think
then
so.
games coming so thick and fast.
Yeah,
It-
games midweek and
3 games a week.
Yeah.
so 7
Okay,
games.
so that's not just
games like just
that's not just 7 Prem games.
Yeah, if it was 7 Premier League games, I'd be worried. But if it's 7 games,
Yeah.
that means he's missing for Nabache and like
about 3 weeks.
You know
Yeah,
what,
but
Trent? Let her you dress.
I
Yeah,
agree.
yes. You need
I
that.
agree 100%. I think you need that too. I think
I don't
that
even.
injury.
And as I think about it, yeah, maybe this is a blessing.
This is a blessing.
yeah. So basically, like even before I continue, like you see how the likes of Arsenal, like they play soccer every single week, and all of a sudden, like this guy breaking down in the last couple of seasons, right? So not last couple of seasons, maybe last season and coming on to like this season as well too, right? But I digress. Back to the lineup. There's something about Hoyland is like I have a love-hate relationship with Hoyland because I see the potential Hoyland can bring us once he's fed the ball. But it's like you gotta use more than your strength training, right? You gotta use what's up here as well too,
Yeah.
right? There were points today where Hoyland wasn't using his brain, but there were points where Hoyland was like, you know what? I'm being fed the ball to my feet, and then all of a sudden, like he's running past players and dribbling past players and what's not, right? So there's some sort of love hate relationship with me and Hoyland, right? I think our front three, Hoyland, Rashford, and Garnacho, need to be on the same page as I mentioned earlier. I don't want to speak this into existence, but I mean, I think Ahmad Diallo may have a short stint at Manchester United.
Agreed.
I really hope this is not the case. I hope I am proven wrong. But knowing Ten Hag, there's some favoritism in this team. Garnacho and Rashford are his favorites. Unless Rashford sits down on the ground and holds his hamstring or holds a thigh, I only see that's the reason Ahmad will get a look into. Let me fast forward to the 88th minute where Ten Hag only made his second sub of the game. Right? 88th minute, where Casemiro had to go to ground for Ten Hag to bring on Ugarte. 88th minute. First was Joshua Zirkzee for Hoyland, and we all saw that coming, right? But Ten Hag saw Casemiro to grow and then decided to make a sub in Casemiro, right? So all of a sudden, Ugarte is getting the. If Casemiro hadn't gone to ground, I can bet you one sub would have only been made this game. One, maybe two, but one.
Yeah.
Right? With regards to Marcus Rashford, I want to get to a point where in Ten Hag's first season at Manchester United, I want to get to a point where Marcus Rashford is just performing like this every single weekend and we're not surprised.
Yeah.
Right? It's all about consistency.
Yeah.
In in Ten Hag's first season, nobody can touch Marcus Rashford. None whatsoever. Right? We just came on the podcast and it was like, Marcus Rashford? Oh, okay. Well, we're accustomed to Marcus Rashford scoring a goal, putting in 7 or 8 out of 10 performances, right? I want to come to a point this season where Marcus Rashford is doing this consistently and we just have to come on the podcast like, oh, well, Marcus Rashford was Marcus Rashford. I don't see Liverpool fans talking about how great Salah was because Salah. I don't hear Man City fans talking about De Bruyne or like Erling Haaland because they do a job every single week out, right? So yeah, I still remain that my man in the match was Christian Eriksen. He was a leader today. Definitely kept me a bit composed on my seat today, and I want to see him start. He should not be the main. He should not be starting in our midfield every single weekend because we know how the Premier League is, right? But it is what it is, right? So
he informed for United. He has been informed for Denmark.
He almost scored a goal today. That was a pretty good build up as well, too, right? But I was like,
I think if he scored, it would have stood.
I think Casemiro had fouled.
I didn't see no foul. I definitely didn't see no foul. But it would have definitely been a decision to make by VAR.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lion, anything different on the lineup? And if nothing different on the lineup you want to discuss, I think we could get into the lit, and the injury he faced, and let me get some discussions. But so before we get at we are doing on the inside. Hey Dwayne, good night, man.
Good night, Dwayne.
Right, and he said, leave the Highlander alone, please. Yeah, so Lion?
Honestly, my only concern in that starting lineup, I know early in the season people used to talk about Evans, but Evans has shown his experience as a defender, and he has been our most consistent defender this season. Well, besides
sure.
Max Suarez, because he's quality. But my main concern was Martinez in the left back. Brentford has runners. Martinez isn't the fastest, but he held his own today. He was composed. He passed the ball at the right time, everything. All in all, it was a team effort for me, right? When Darlow went up, Rashford covered for him, and this is what we want to see. So that was my only concern about the lineup. And well, we could go into that injury with Dillett.
That
was the staff took so long to sort him out, and then he still come on. and his head started to bleed after all of that, after they take so long. Right? And he still didn't have a bandage second half. What was that?
You want to hear something? I am in a group chat with a couple other Manchester United fans, and I called the medical staff incompetent today. And
That's the word for them.
the other members in the group cursed me. They say, "Oh no, you shouldn't say that. Have you ever played sports?" I said, "Bruv, I've been watching football for at least 20 plus years. When a head injury is in process, what happens? The player goes off the field, and then the other 10 players on the field must say, hey, we don't have our starting center back. Let us stay disciplined and let us don't do any foolishness, right? We're down to 10 men, only for like maybe 2 or 3 minutes. But in that 2 or 3 minutes, let's stay disciplined. Whether we have to kick the ball out and start over or try to look to build the ball out from the back, stay disciplined, don't do any foolishness." Why is the Manchester United medical staff taking, I don't want to say so long, but it's like
Three times.
I know I am stressed that in this WhatsApp group, these guys realize that the lit has a head injury. Don't look for something temporary. Look for something that can be longer than temporary. It doesn't have to be permanent. It has to be a long workaround. And the Manchester United staff did not do that because the guy came off 3 times. You didn't get it right the first time, and you don't get it right the second time either. What's our foolish what's our foolish medical staff we have here?
Yep.
You trying to tell me that you could not even apply the same Vaseline to his head and then wrap his head around in a bandage and maybe just for the sake of it, for more protection, put on some headgear? You couldn't do that?
True.
Rules of football. Once the referee sees blood, player has to come to a stop, and that player who is bloody has to walk off of the football field.
Yeah.
And then obviously like extra time is added. 3 times the leg came off in the first half. But people telling me, Phil, don't blame the medical staff, blame Dallo for not picking up the ball. I blame him both.
So chef, until I made a statement, right? He said it was dry blood. What do you think about that statement?
What is dry blood?
He's Wolverine. He blood dry.
I don't understand. What is dry blood?
Without Tenak said it was dry blood. So
whether the blood is dry,
meaning that it's kicked.
Well, that's probably what he means.
Well, it's still
dry.
It's still
they're running. You said it wasn't running.
It don't matter. It's still
that
visible
wasn't running. As a big member of the WWE fan club, bro, that blood was running.
He looked like he got a chair to head.
So I don't know what you were talking about. But I with Phil said incompetent. I would put a F incompetent in front of them. Dan, that was real failure. That was in all my years of watching football, I have never seen a head injury been handled so terribly. Don't get me wrong, Dallo's an idiot and should have defended better. But that was a real failure, Dred. So, but why Tenan can't just hush at times, boy? Just hush.
JP?
Yeah, I think sometimes you have to take the L in it. Sometimes you put your hand and take the L and say, you know what, our medical team didn't handle this properly. He really should not have had to come off 2 separate occasions after the initial injury. First time, okay. When he come off the first time, it started to bleed. You can get him the blind, but they didn't wrap it, they didn't bandage it, and to me, as all of us saying, how much years we watching football, when a man head bleeding, they'll wrap up his head real strip, they laugh at him how he looking. But the point is, the blood wouldn't be running. Yeah. Everybody know in sports since Magic Johnson with the HIV that once it have any blood in sports, you have to come off the field. That is known since when? This since when Magic come out with HIV, right? There's 30 something years now that there's going on in sport. So we had to take the L. When I see Dillard complaining and Tenor complaining to the photo officials and thing on the sideline after the goal, I was like, what's all the problem? The man face bloody. What are you complaining about? His face bloody. That was just foolish and embarrassing, I find, on our part, because it looked like a sweat was taking place in the Mani Ramjan or something, and it's no medical wrong, so men just play with blood and there. That's what it looked like. It looked real
Look at
unprofessional.
that much. Yeah.
I definitely agree. Because I was saying the same thing because during the game, during that little scrimmage, I saw that Tena got a yellow card as well. He was cautioned. I was like, you look for that
Yeah.
because it's so obvious. The entire world, right, is seeing blood streaming, or even if we can't see it streaming, we see the blood running down this player face. What you want the referee to do? The referee has to make a decision that this is not the right protocol to leave a player in that condition on the pitch.
It's a health hazard and it's a health concern first things first.
It definitely is a biohazard, right? It's a biohazard. So unfortunately, at that point was when we had a corner, and Faith had it where even when I saw that corner, Dillit had to come off, I done see in my head, I don't know if it's the negative vibes, but I done see in my head, how things happen for Manchester United this season, Brentford win and score.
Yeah.
No, I had that feeling. How things go for United this season, Brentford win and score. So when Brentford score and Pinnock, to me, even in the first half was excellent. As a Caribbean athlete, playing for Jamaica, I think he was excellent in the first half. I was very impressed, and the goal would have capped off as well. But I wasn't surprised. And I was just looking to see, what type of reaction we would have had after that. Because we know that Tenag is one bad game from an axe, really and truly. And I just wanted to see how the team would have responded after going behind because of that situation. I think that would have told, spell out that this team behind Ten Hag or not. And second half, they really showed their mettle. Lion, you have anything around that, or you good to go?
I was talking about it before. It was just terrible, man. The way how they dealt with that injury.
Yeah. So I see the comments on them coming real slow. I guess that is the nature of the beast. When we support United and the form we in, it really demoralizing even some of the the true and true fans. Being cautious about being really optimistic. So the comments not coming as normally come, but we still are doing on the inside, and you say whatever comes to Tenag mind, it does come out mouth. Dry blood, my ass, right? The medical staff looked lost. Yeah, I think that is the
and that should tell you if this is how they just deal with these kind of thing. What going on with player and the injuries, boy?
Injuries, man. It's something so simple to do. Yeah.
The first time I see them a medical staff move like that.
And?
Well, any else watching, so
Yeah. So I mean, again today, I don't have much to talk about points about today. To be honest, right? But one thing I want to talk about is the I think we won the game today because our midfield was better than Brentford's midfield today
In the second half.
in the second half. Personally, I find the first half wasn't that bad. And that is based on the entire season so far. Based on the entire season so far, I don't think the first half.
I've seen worse first half performances
Yeah.
than today, but today had me a bit cringed. Maybe atrocious is a bit too strong of a word, like you guys mentioned, but it had me a bit cringed than like some of the guys are just giving away the football and not like making decisions. And I was like, I really gotta sit down on this Saturday morning and watch this where I could be doing something else.
Yeah.
Our finishing too, boy. Oh my God. That first half, Garnacho himself. Oh God, our finishing and decision making in that final turn was terrible, boy. God.
Yes, I think our midfield at the second half, I think Casemiro, Ericsson, I think was very good. I think this player from Brentford, Damsgaard, I think he has some quality as well. As much as he doesn't look like a footballer, I think on the ball he definitely has quality. And I like him. Real comfortable on the ball, confident on the ball. But outside of him, I don't think Brentford has anything attacking. As much as Mbeumo has been informed, I don't think attacking wise, outside of him, they were a threat. So I guess it's kudos to our team into nullifying Mbeumo. Wissa came on. I think we managed them well. But kudos must go out to, I think Casemiro was very good today. I think he would have redeemed. I think this is the first game he started since the Liverpool game.
Yeah.
So I think he did okay. I think Ericsson, as we spoke about, you're seeing the form and the quality that he's bringing to the team. That as Mino wasn't available, I think the only option would have been either Casemiro for Ugarte. I think Ericsson was starting. Whole day. Any day Ericsson would have been the starter. But I think our midfield today was much better, and I think Ericsson definitely was a standout player. So, Phil, I don't know what you have to say about that today. And you can talk about anything else.
Just to touch a little bit on Bruno, there's sometimes where Bruno does not have to make this Hollywood one-time pass, right? There's times that Manchester United and Bruno Fernandes become so predictable, right? And Casemiro does as well too. There are times where, like, it's almost when Christian Eriksen plays a ball to Bruno must then hit it one time. Or let's say the left back or right back plays the ball to Bruno, and Bruno can spot that Marcus or Garnacho is going to make a run. He's going to play this one-time pass. He's not going to control, look up. He's going to assume that Marcus or Garnacho is making the pass and hit the ball. And there were 3 examples today, 2 in the first half and 1 in the second half, where we could have played the football so simple. Control playing Garnacho, control playing Rashford. And Bruno chose to hit the one-time pass, and it was cut out. Or it hit the Brentford player's head and went out for a throw-in, right? One thing that you touched on, Nico, earlier in the podcast is that you're not going to be so optimistic, and you're right, because you'll be optimistic after, let's say, 10 games of consistency and playing well, but not just after one game, right? The team played well in the second half. Now it's time for the team to play well. Now it's time for the team to play well in both halves, right? I don't know. When all of our players are fit, I don't think the likes of Johnny Evans and maybe Christian Eriksen will be playing, but it's good to see that, that they have stepped up to the plate when they have been chosen. Let's put it that way, right? Because we still have to see the likes of Lenny Yoro come back. He was supposed to be back this month. So we'll see if he gets a chance to...
November month, he should be back.
Yeah.
think
Well,
after the next
it was supposed to be 6 to 8 weeks from the preseason, no?
Okay.
Yeah,
But
so now,
November month in terms of recovering fitness, match readiness, I think he should be back by November.
yeah, true. So probably early November, right? I got pass it off to the panel before I say this here. Sorry, I can say this here before I pass off the panel. I want to see Ineos terminate Luke Shaw's contract. I don't think
Agreed.
I'm being harsh.
Yeah, I don't think we
Agreed.
harsh either.
Luke Shaw was signed under Van Gaal. Please remember that, okay? I don't think Luke Shaw has given us more than one season fit.
Nope.
I will repeat this again. Luke Shaw was signed under Van Gaal, and Luke Shaw has only given us one season fit. The same energy we showed for, the likes of Phil Jones and Martial because they could not keep fit. The best ability is availability, right? I'm sorry, but Ineos has got to cut Luke Shaw's contract. I don't think I'm harsh. I don't think so. But Luke Shaw has got to go. He has to. I'm tired of seeing stories where it says Luke Shaw is recovering and he's in training.
Yeah.
I want to see Luke Shaw on the field. I don't want to see Luke Shaw in training. I want to see Luke Shaw on the field.
Yeah.
Showing little clips of Luke Shaw training and laughing with other Manchester United members is all good
You
for the
see
gram and all that
that
shit.
from last season now. I don't think he trained with that team yet.
Yeah. So JP,
Yes.
kind of with what Phil's saying there, we saw Dallo on the right today. We saw Dallo on the left for the entire season today. And what do you think about his performances? And with as we saw, Mazwari was, yes, he had this heart surgery, but he played today. But what do you think about Dallo's performance on the right today?
I think it show easily that is Dallo's preferred position. Early in the early of the season when Dallo was at left back, we saw some performances from him that made me think, we may not really have a left back problem here. But then he was exposed in some games, and it highlighted the need for somebody who that is their comfortable role. And I will touch on something after I finish making the point with that. But today on the right hand side, I think he really showed his quality, and I think we have a fight on for that right back spot once we get our left back in the club. But it also shows that we could probably even try Maswari in the left
On
back
the left.
when he comes back
Yeah.
until because that looked a lot more comfortable. I think, especially if you plan on playing Rashford on the right hand side, it showed understanding between those two players that that's not an easy thing to manufacture. They had a very nice understanding in the game today, and if there's something that they could keep doing, then it's something that will work out on the right hand side for us. So it showed today that Dallo clearly is a right back. And it also shows that we have a good competition in that spot on the field. And what I want to touch on from that is our bench today, right? What is the point of having a Jack Fletcher on the bench and not Harry Amas when we have a left back crisis? So there's a question I had to raise, and what's going on with Toby Cole here, who we know is of a certain quality. He could play in the first team. The first game he bringing him in was the most pressure game against Liverpool in the midfield. And in a game like Brentford, I could understand why you start Martinez because of Mbeumo. And Martinez wasn't going forward today, so therefore he always had Mbeumo right there. Mbeumo always had Martinez right in front of him. Martinez wasn't going forward and had to track back. So that's why we kind of neutralized Mbeumo today. So I could understand he would want to start Amas in this game. But we had a game against lower opposition in Barnsley where Harry Amas could at least get a run out for a half because we know we have a left back crisis. I don't think the youth man so not ready that he can't even be making the bench now and can't even get a run out against a Barnsley. I remember in days of old, this is how we used to know when the youths and them good enough. When you have games against lower opposition, right? When you run them. So if we have a left back crisis and we have this highly rated young left back in our squad, how we not even making bench? These fellas playing for England, lower age teams, and doing well. Korea did well in again for the international break with England as well. So how it is we're not seeing these players anymore. We know when I see Jack Fletcher's name, I say that is to make up numbers. We know he's not an option. We know he's not coming off the bench because we're not going to be beating Brentford 5-0 to say you can bring on a Jack Fletcher. So that is something I really question today with the bench. When I look at the bench, I was like, I ain't seen Coley, I ain't seen Amas. And these are the players where if a Kobe not there, a Coley could be there. If you don't have Shaw, you don't have Manasseh, Amas could be there.
I kind of gave up on. I don't want to say I gave up on youngsters getting a chance after seeing them in preseason. I always remember the likes of Isaac Hansen and Dan Gore and Zidane Iqbal. These guys impressed me in preseason over the last 2 years.
Hannibal
as well too, but Hannibal
got his chance, but
Chef, they got a bit of loose screws in Hannibal head, in my opinion. A bit of loose screws.
Yeah, that little mental problem.
Yeah. For some reason, I don't think Hannibal is up there as yet, right? But I mean, just to mention the likes of Isaac Hansen and Dan Gore and Zidane Iqbal, these guys impressed me as youngsters during the pre-seasons in the last couple of years, and I tell myself, well, let me see if they will get at least a run out. Doesn't have to be a Premier League game. Could be a FA Cup game, bringing them on with 10, 20 minutes to go. Could be a Carabao Cup game, same 10, 20 minutes to go, and still nothing.
Yeah, because and if you look at the player who Fernandez, who was to me real quality,
Alvaro,
left back. Alvaro Fernandez, who went to Benfica, we sold him to Benfica, and I couldn't believe it because I saw the quality of the player. And that player had real quality, and we knew the problems we had at left back. We knew the problems we had with Luke Shaw. We knew Malacia was injured. And we let Alvaro Fernandez go. And now we're here in the grapevine. We're looking to buy him back.
We dropped the ball twice.
We in control of this situation because of the buyback. We in control, but we sell him. We just sell him.
Less than a season. Less than a season ago.
Twice. We're not left back position.
Less than a season ago. That was crazy.
I don't know if it's the medical staff. I don't know what it is, but we dropped the ball twice in our left back position. January, gone. We were supposed to sign our left back or continue with regular and on loan. We depended on Malacia and Shaw to come back.
Yeah.
The season start is the same thing. It shouldn't be like that.
Exactly.
With Manchester United, we shouldn't have to be putting somebody as a standing left back.
At Manchester United.
That's affecting the game, the way we want to play. Because you're seeing that Darlow cannot handle that left back position for amount of games. He might handle it for one game, then next game.
Yeah.
But even within that, Mazwari could play left back too. So if you see Darlow struggling, switch them.
Switch them.
And we don't do that.
Yeah. I
think we need to do that. Definitely.
I don't know what's the problem with, like, sometimes I wonder if the fans should take over the team sometimes because we see certain things that we know would work.
Yeah.
But the staff is like, I don't know.
And these are the things you just want to kill Ten Hag for. Because Dan, it's no maths in that.
We are all on our couches or in bars or whatever, watching the game. And you know who has a closer view of the pitch than us? Eric Ten Hag. He can't see these things.
Yeah, so I'm going to the comments, right? And Chef, you know, you could comment on this as well. Onana balls were perfect up the field today. Hoyland hold up play and slick passes were good.
Pause.
Go ahead, Chef. Go ahead, Chef. I know it was coming. I know it was coming. I need to comment to you. I need to comment to you. So go ahead, Chef. Go ahead.
I would pull that back up for me. So I will not read it the way Dwayne typed it. I would say Onana's outfield passes were perfect up the field today.
Right.
Hoyland hold up play was okay, cool. Then what we can say about Onana? I can't fight this shit out right now.
He ain't doing nothing wrong.
Well, you say a car fight and you still push it on in that? You say a car fight somewhere push it on in that?
He convinced me of nothing yet. Hell no.
You see Onana in the first season, he got so much convincing to do, boy. You take a couple of games gonna convince him, man. No, boy.
A season, but he does give me anxiety still.
Yeah, but so far he has been good. So far he has been good. I ain't playing nothing more than good.
Yeah, this season he has been good.
Sorry, fellas, I had to get a headset, boy. The rain falling real loud here right now.
Okay. Right?
Yeah, and Onana convinced me on nothing yet. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Let me don't say that. I will say Onana is sure. I'm gonna be fair. The man is certainly showing improvement. Knock on wood. I hope it continues.
Yeah, and he made a nice save in the first half too.
He did make a very nice save.
Yeah.
And today was one of the days. His passing quality is what we signed him for. Showed.
Yeah.
So yeah, pick up Tim for that.
More so in a second, because just before he think a good pass to somebody in a group chat or certain people, I find what we signed Onana for him not doing very long passes, because a lot of the time it was going to nobody or it was just going to a player under pressure and nothing coming from it. But that's not what we signed him for. We signed him for his passes.
Yeah. I think he had two nice passes. I think one went to Dallo, one went to
Hoyland.
Ganacho, I think had a nice one as well. But I think
he put one to Hoyland too.
Okay. So I think he was good today, right? I'm James Scott. Good night to you, sir. You say blessed night against bro. The Lion King Simba is here, right? Apologies for missing the last step. Right? I'm also releasing show. It's been too long. Right? Our medical staff needed a drastic upgrade or adjustment. Additionally, our medical staff requires major. Okay, I guess I said that twice. Hey Kurt, good night, man.
Night, good night.
They say Amas don't have enough bulk on his body. You know, they saying about Yamal and them fellas and them who ripping up the Liga.
Watch Ahmad.
Who is he Day? Because I want to tell Day is a jackass.
But even look at the likes of Mesut Ozil and David Silva. They got bulk.
Exactly.
They're some of the best players to grace the Premier League.
Yeah.
Yeah, but look at Ahmad. Ahmad like a child.
Who's that?
Yeah.
Ahmad tiny.
Yeah, true.
Tiny.
Yeah.
What's Bernardo Silva? David Silva was our next tiny player.
Yeah.
He wasn't a big player.
That's a big to play in the Prem.
I see you all talking about youth tonight, all of whom could have been starters today. Even Angel Gomez got shafted. Right? So I think the younger players, the opportunity is solely dependent on the first team players actually doing well, which they weren't totally. So I think the suffocation of these youngsters is because of the team, manager included, failure to own games.
True.
Yeah.
That's true.
I get where you're coming from. Okay.
Yeah, but to me, even when you think about a youth player opportunities, it can be just one game. Now.
Yeah,
So like
I
Collier, it's like Collier. If you really want to judge Collier, give him a game.
yeah, I am I as everybody said, I totally get what James coming from here. I understand, but I would want to add that because of the first team's failures, it should be opening more doors
Yes.
for the youths and them to get chances.
Yeah, so it kind of double folded because
Yeah, it is. It is.
yeah, because if it is the first team winning games 3-4-0, then you're giving opportunities to the youngsters to come in to gain that experience. You know, so I've seen it definitely on both sides.
Yeah, and see Ten Hag going back to the fault. The side that
Yeah.
was winning the games first season. The midfield that was winning the games first season.
Yeah. Yeah, but good comment, James. Definitely.
I have a question, right?
Uh-huh.
So this season, Ten Hag realized, or he was forced to realize, that Christian Eriksen is and still has quality. So you telling me for the last however seasons, Scott McTominay was better than Christian Eriksen, boy?
And I still believe
That McTominay deserved to start in front of Eriksen, boy?
McTominay saved Ten Hag job.
He didn't want to sell him. He says because of fair play rules, they have to sell Scott.
McTominay, where he's supposed to be right now. You see where he is?
Yeah.
He was the man that saved Ten Hag.
That is level. That is level. You will excel there.
That is the kind of thing. That is the kind of thing that's make you wonder about Ten Hag as a manager, you know.
No, but to be fair, a lot of us was vexed with Eriksen saying he do our legs and all kind of thing.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true.
Last season we find Eriksen. A lot of us find he was terrible.
Because Eriksen was, remember Eriksen, I agree, Lion, and then we found out a lot of times Eriksen was playing injured.
Yeah, but like he got a Tesla battery or something.
Yeah, he got Tesla. He got Ferrari or NASA, some kind of part, boy. Because no, boy.
You all see the comments by Paulo Di Canio a couple of days ago, or a couple of days ago,
about McTominay.
About McTominay.
Oh yeah.
What you say?
It says here, Paulo Di Canio, you must be crazy to sell a top player like Scott McTominay for 30 mil. Why they did that, I can't understand.
Yeah. McTominay is supposed to be.
Paulo Di Canio, yeah.
As in the Italian?
Yeah.
Okay.
West Ham, you know,
yeah.
No, me get rid of
He's a Nazi. Yeah. Okay, I have nothing to say to you.
I could say this 4-2-3-1 system keep deploying. Kurt, what better we have, boy?
I find we're playing a 4-4-2.
Is that 4-4-2?
I found Rashford and Højlund were doing a lot of pressing in the.
Yeah, they're playing close together.
Yeah. And Bruno.
I think today Bruno kind of sit back a little.
Yeah.
He had to play a more disciplined game. I think he was.
Did he?
As much as he was on the right and the left, I think it had a better coordination.
Yeah.
In terms of when that was happening. I think it wasn't, this gung-ho kind of, the team, where he thinking that the team need me here, so I'm going to be here without having that, communication, yes, or cover in any position he was vacating. I think it was more a collaborated, thought-out decision today than the previous game.
I see. Yeah. Rashford was pressing more than him with Højlund.
Yeah.
At some times in the game.
To me, when Bruno decided to press, he was just pressing by himself like a madman. But when Rashford was pressing, you could have seen it wasn't him alone. He was pressing with Rasmus and with the midfield.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Kurt, I love the fact that Rashford is getting his confidence. Yeah, we spoke about today, and I think Rashford game today was very impressive.
It was.
I think he was, I use the term or the word very tenacious, and not giving up after the first ball. I think he was also after the second ball as well, which I find was very impressive today. Yeah.
Dan, them cross-field passes. Marcus was giving men today. That was prime Rooney, boy.
You might give one to Garnacho in the first half today. I was like, Jesus Lord, that was real good.
Yeah. James was saying, I say take the chance with them too. Definitely. So I think it's the youths. No way McTominay better than Ericsson. Sometimes a better choice, injection of energy than I guess too, where McTominay was playing, he higher up the pitch, he had a higher chance of scoring a goal than Ericsson would have had. So I guess that is why that would have been the main reason that he would have been on the pitch, but definitely not a better player than Ericsson. Right. Milan, good night, sir. He's saying Scott was never and still isn't better than Ericsson. I guess the entire world know that.
And Ericsson is our best midfielder right now.
I agree.
Yeah.
Right. James saying also think about Scott sold. Right? Think about it. Scott sold, but they kept Chris Ericsson in a testament to the fact that the latter is better than the former, basic. Yeah. Right? Good night, King.
I guess so, but I mean, Scott McTominay is younger, so you'll get more money for him, right? So
that is it. You see
that? Good business.
I'm on the game.
That's a money thing.
Yeah, maybe we can play for 4-2 diamond or 4-2-4 diamond. All right, good. If you guys haven't spoken about it yet, but Ugarte little cameo was nice. I don't know if anybody has to touch on that.
We do so.
You run through the middle.
He run through the midfield, and
that's really he didn't have much of a cameo per se.
Yeah. That's a cameo or Kobo sweat.
Yeah, he probably drop a little sweat somewhere, but really do.
Boy, I want to see Ugarte starting or getting more sweater. You see that? Dog, you can't tell me you run.
The time will come. You don't rush it.
Can't tell me you run down a man for all that money to have him on a bench.
Nah, the time will come, chef.
You go start this week, I feel, because like Casemiro and Judd. So
yeah, so I think like this. I mean,
just to touch on what chef said. Remember, we run down a whole season for Sophia Amrabat. How much play tight Amrabat get last season?
The end of the season.
Where Amrabat going again?
Fiorentina. Fenerbahce, yes.
Fenerbahce.
I'm coming to that.
So wait, we playing this week?
Yeah. So I guess that's a good segue to get into the next game. I don't know if anybody have anything to talk about this game today. I think the goals were real good quality goals. I think Garnacho goal was was quality, and I think Hoyland goal as well.
Prime Van Nistelrooy goal, boy.
Together with the flick. As much as Bruno to me was our worst player.
Bun that flick. Let me talk about the goal. The goal,
right?
Quality goal.
Bruno to me was the worst United performer today.
Agreed.
Right? But that flick, I think he redeemed himself, but it's a quality flick. But the finish
was one of the only things he did. Was one of the few things he did for the game.
Right? And what I saw with a composure, you saw where he slowed down and took the chance. And what I said about Hoyland as well, you see the hold up play.
Yeah.
If he could slow down himself, this is how he slowed down himself to take that goal today. For the hold up play, I think his hold up play will be much better.
Yeah.
I think for the hold up play,
this was his best performance in terms of hold up play I saw from him since we signed him, I think, because I think he did a lot better holding up the ball and bringing players into the game.
But here's the thing: a smart footballer or a footballer for a high IQ would say, okay, I try 5 passes to Hoyland. 2 of them were in the air and he didn't win them. I tried 3 passes to Hoyland and he won all 3 of them. He'd spin the defender and he's bringing other players into play. Me as a midfielder or me as whoever's on the field, I'm playing the ball to Hoyland's feet, not to his head.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Yeah.
Right? Hoyland spin a couple of defenders today and I got excited. The ball was in the air and the defender who was Pinnock had Hoyland locked down today. When it was in the air.
Yeah. I think he was better, but if he could compose himself during that hold up play, I think he'll be much better. Because I had a lot of times where all he knew was a bit of composure, and his hold up play would have been much better. So I think that is definitely something that hopefully would come in time. But if he develops that, I think he had a better, he had some little movements, little flicks here and there that he really looked better today. So I think overall, good assists from Bruno, good goal from Hoyland, and we really want to see, more of that. So I guess as we were talking about, we have Fenerbahce coming up this week on Thursday. Fenerbahce away.
My favorite manager, boy.
Your favorite manager. Lion, tell me what your thoughts, on this Fenerbahce match. I guess they segue to lock up shop for the review tonight. But let me get your thoughts. Let me get some thoughts on the Fenerbahce game on Tuesday.
Real tough kind of match. I'm looking forward to seeing that now. But all I have to say is he own we a lot.
He own.
Every game he own. And I kind of again, I like him. I like his link up play. But again, tired of that not finishing. You had to finish simple chances.
Yeah.
Right? The one he get when Rashford flick it on to him. You had to be on the same wavelength.
Yeah. Even one time. He hit that one time.
Yeah, because Rashford could have hit that too.
Yeah.
But you give him it to help him build the confidence. But Xerxes, good link up play, but come on. But back to that, that game will be a tough game. And Fred coming out to play. Amrabat going and come out to say
Mourinho
coming for revenge on United.
Yeah.
So that will be a tough game, boy. But
right now, I tell all you already. My opinion of Xerxes, right now Xerxes is Wenghouse for me, I tell all you that already.
I can see why, but in my opinion, I think Xerxes should be playing the number 10 role and not the number 9 role.
Yes, instead of Bruno.
Correct.
Yeah.
Lion say that Mourinho going to get revenge. I don't think there's any bad blood between Manchester United and Mourinho. No, I don't think so personally.
There is.
I don't think so.
You think so?
What you don't have is people who don't like him.
No,
but
because
to say bad blood, he wasn't treated badly at the United.
Mourinho is welcome to watch United games at Old Trafford. He is.
Yeah.
One thing he did spoke about, I sure he had a problem with the Glazers because he spoke about
he had a problem with them
signing certain players he wanted, especially Maguire. He wanted Maguire, and they give a less experienced manager in Ole Maguire. So I know Mourinho's a man that's hold grudges.
Yeah.
So he coming out to low block and it's we on the break and
a man must have his pride. All your fire, man. I'm coming back. Yes, we good, but I'm coming back with my squad to play all you. I'm coming to beat all you.
Yeah.
I don't 2 years about that.
Based on Mourinho's CV, if a man can mention that one of his best achievements is coming second with Manchester United.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, so I have some comments on Camille Kobo, a bit of both. I too would love to see more of Ugarte. All right. I would love to see Rasmus Højlund and Jay-Z play together for once at least.
At least once, yeah.
Yeah, good win today. Yeah, good today. I'm disappointed. Ahmad didn't get any minutes. So in the Fenerbahce game, I think he will get some minutes in the Fenerbahce
Yeah,
game.
he'll play.
I feel he started in the Fenerbahce game.
Let him
Yeah,
start on the right.
because I know Garnacho's struggling with a knee injury. You see, with his knee is heavily bandaged. So I think he would get up. Maybe I get a rest. I think Rashford has looked good. Today, I think play on the left. I think he would enjoy playing on the left on Thursday. I'm on the left, so I expect him to see that. Yeah, Rashi has 6 or 7 assists so far, you know. Okay, I'm surprised. You're sure? Glad for him. Normally he moves greedy, but now his IQ got better.
6 or 7 assists for the season?
All our goal we score?
Because today was his first assist in the Prem for the season, eh?
Yeah.
I don't know about
So where all them other assists come from? Because we barely could score. We could barely hit a barnyard.
Yeah. I think probably had 2 assists in the Barnsley game, I think.
Barnsley.
Maybe somebody could check. Maybe Phil, use the quick Twitter thumbs.
Well,
check
God,
that and tell me.
I just was surprised with you guys. Like, where all these other assists come from?
Hey, Dian. Good night.
Hey, Dian. Good night.
Nice to win for a change. Right, the boys looked better, and to Mo and company. On to Mo and company.
On to Moy and company.
Yeah. Right. Zuski rule switch is pending, and I wish to see it happen because expectation of him sees beyond what he does on the pitch more often than not. I think definitely, you see today, Zuski coming into the game, I think the pace of the game, he definitely struggled to get up to the pace, and I was thinking about, is it that the warm up? You know, because of the warm, that's kind of get into the intensity of the game. So when you come onto the field, you know, so far behind the other players. You know, and we just see these players in a little jogging and a little stretching on their own on the side. But when they're coming, I think they should have a little more regimented warm up when you're coming into a game at full tilt now.
But
and
don't
I think that way it didn't look so to me.
No, he didn't look so.
Or he didn't look so because
everybody he didn't look so.
He came onto the game and he was way behind the pace of the game today.
Well, I'll say the way United played in the second half, he wasn't up to speed with them.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Weghorst 2.2 making me go.
I don't see a Van der Beek 2.0.
Nah.
Wicked.
Right?
You're wicked.
But yeah,
Weghorst.
But I still giving him plenty time. You know, you have kind of one touch thing like a Van der Beek now.
I ain't giving no. You're wicked. I'm not giving them no plenty time, nothing.
You know?
Wicked,
I'm not giving them no plenty time.
No, I've been patient with him. I've been
patient
with him.
No.
Van der Beek kind of wants to try and move quick kind of vibes.
He does get the ball to man. The ball has reached the man. Van der Beek didn't used to do that.
Dan, it is one thing to be patient with certain getting up to the play, but dog, them chances, Dan, them chances. I can't be patient. You're continually missing them chances, dog. Let's we send you to play with the under 21.
Yeah, so I guess we come to the end of the review. I don't know if anybody have any other thing they want to touch on before we close.
Rashford has 3 assists this season. Premier League,
3, right?
Premier League, Europa, and Barnsley.
Good playing FIFA.
I want to know what Kurt read it. Kurt.
Yeah, that's 7 Kurt. Yeah, that was
stop using. You using Google, not Google.
Ah, boy.
Taskmaster.
That I am.
Right?
That I am.
More focused with Rude.
Yeah.
He has some nice touches indeed, but he we. He's too big not to have power in them legs. Yeah, I think it will come. I think it will come with what the pressure.
I hope so.
the pressure playing for Manchester United is a lot. And I guess for new players to really
So it wasn't.
come up
It was
to
not that
speed,
for Van der Beek. You wicked.
No, it's
You
a lot for
one
any player.
criminal boy.
No, it is a lot for any player who
You
doesn't
is
have
one criminal. It wasn't wicked for Van der Beek.
have the mentality to play for a big club.
So,
Right?
so
if
you're
they don't
saying
have the
he might have it, but Van
mentality,
der Beek didn't have it.
possibly, so we gotta wait and see.
Then
We gotta wait and see.
it's something
Van der
all
Beek
you
struggle.
insult
Van der Beek
hard, boy. Oh,
struggle.
God.
Van der Beek struggle playing for United because the pressure for United only is a lot.
It is a lot.
It is a lot.
Sometimes it's just that a player just saying that good. That's all.
Just
Yeah,
and
it
you
could be
know we
simple as
like
that
to
too.
we
Could be
like to
simple
buy
as that
shit.
too. Yeah. It could be simple as that. So I think we come to the end of the pod. Next game would be on Thursday. We play Fenerbahce. We know
Where we playing that game?
Away.
That's your fault.
Now, no, that's our away game.
Oh gosh, well that's hell.
Yeah. So you know what I mean? Men had to come out. Men had to step up.
Then again, the way we just play in Trafford ain't much different now. So
yeah. So let me see how that go. Right. So yeah. So I mean, that's the end of the pod. Right. So to everybody on the inside, thanks for the comments. Thanks for the attending the live tonight, because it have been so difficult for us even coming on the live after the poor performances. So making yourselves available for the pod, I think that in itself, commendable. Right? So hey, on to the next one. Good night.
Good night.